Hello lovely people, I'm here today to talk about Eon by Alison Goodman. This book was originally published in 2008. This particular edition was published in 2010 and has 531 pages. Interesting fact, interesting to me at least, this novel was originally titled The Two Pearls of Wisdom and was later re-released as Eon, Eon the Rise of the Dragoneye, and Eon Dragoneye Reborn. As you may have deduced, this novel centers around the main character, Eon. Eon is a young man who shows the potential to be a Dragoneye. He has been studying and training in the art of dragon magic for several years. In order to better understand, I should probably explain to you a little about this world and what it means to be a Dragoneye. A Dragoneye is a human who is chosen by an energy dragon to harness and manipulate the elements that they control, such as wind, water, or land. So being a Dragoneye is a huge responsibility that comes with a great deal of fortune and power. Eon is not taken seriously as a candidate due to his disabilities. He suffered a serious accident that has left him crippled. He is actually seen as the embodiment of bad luck. Eon is also, and maybe most importantly, not Eon at all. She is Iona, a 16-year-old girl who has been masquerading as a boy because practicing the art of dragon magic by a female is strictly forbidden and punishable by death. But not only does she show the potential to be a Dragoneye, she can see all 12 of the energy dragons, which is a special and rare power. So the story is, Iona lives her life as Eon, holding on to a secret that only her and the master who trains her knows. Along the way, her powers end up getting her caught in the middle of a political power struggle. That is generally the premise of Eon by Alison Goodman. First, I want to talk about the setting in this novel. This novel is undeniably a fantasy novel. The amount of world building in this novel is impressive. Alison Goodman was obviously inspired by Asian cultures and practices, but she has this way of taking all of that she learned and creating a world that is all her own. That being said, there's a fair amount of explanation to set up the mythology and the world, which made parts of the book feel slow, not in a negative way. I feel like in fantasy novels it is pretty standard, especially if it is the beginning of a series, which this is. Next, I'd like to talk about the characters. Aside from Eon, I'm not going to talk about the characters specifically, but more as a whole, and not all of the characters. I feel like several of the main and side characters were used as vehicles to tackle tough issues and topics such as sexuality and gender roles, but I think that Alison Goodman did it in a way that didn't feel like she was preaching, so you could read the novel without finding those issues or topics and still have an exciting fantasy adventure novel. I would like to note though, even though I'm not going into specifics about these characters, they were all excellent, genuine, believable characters. So now I'm going to talk about Eon. I liked Eon, but she suffered what I would like to call the Harry Potter complex, or you could just call it pride. Let me explain. Eon is a strong character with plenty of worthy characteristics and skills, but she does not have all of the skills. But she is surrounded by people, friends and people who care about her, who do possess skills that could be useful to her, but she never asks for help. That was quite frustrating because most of her problems could have been solved early on if she had just went to her friends for help. That being said, probably wouldn't have been much of a story if she had done so. In conclusion, I would describe this book as a mixture of Disney's Mulan and George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire series. It had the obvious girl masquerading as a boy and dragon aspect of Mulan, but all of the political and royal intrigue of A Game of Thrones. The pace was slow at times, but it was only because of Alison Goodman's captivating and detailed world building. Overall, I recommend this book to lovers of fantasy or those trying to dip their toes into the vast sea of the fantasy genre. I hope you enjoyed this talk about Eon. If you have read Eon, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Thank you for watching.